Good morning. I'm Adam Laxalt. I am a former Navy and Iraq veteran and the former top law enforcement officer of this state. I care deeply about both the rule of law and voter integrity, like the rest of Nevadans and Americans. And we warned for the last few weeks that we could end up in a situation where Nevada decides the fate of the presidency. We warned that the Democrats changed this election system. They gave us mail-in ballots, and despite the fact that there are examples of thousands of ballots being mailed across this valley in trash cans in apartment buildings, people getting as many as 18 ballots to their homes, we knew these rolls were unclean, and we were told that signatures would save us from all fraud. But to date, we still have not been able to observe these signatures or meaningfully challenge a single mail-in ballot out of hundreds of thousands of casts. We firmly believe that there are many voters in this group of mail-in people that are not proper voters. In the last many days, we have received reports of many irregularities across the valley. We believe that there are dead voters that have been counted. We are also confident that there are thousands of people whose votes have been counted that have moved out of Clark County during the pandemic. Today, we have a voter, Jill Stokey, who was denied access to vote. She showed up to vote, and she was told someone had already cast her ballot, and she was denied the opportunity to vote. We are filing in federal district court here in Las Vegas. We're asking for emergency relief, a TRO, and injunctive relief. We're asking the judge due to all of these irregularities, to stop the counting of improper votes. Thank you.
The courts in Nevada.
Can you wait?
Yeah, you got it.
Look, the reality is that transparency is not political.
For your name?
Ballots are not automatically legal votes until they're checked. We are not being allowed to check. The Harry Reid machine recklessly threw ballots into the mail, and now we cannot check whether or not there are non-residents, which we have evidence, publicly available evidence, that you all in the media should be also looking at. It's publicly available information that non-residents have voted. There is a 30-day residency requirement in the state of Nevada. If you haven't been in the state for 30 days, it is illegal to vote. Reporters have a responsibility. The fact is, we are filing this federal lawsuit to protect legal voters. It is unacceptable in this country to have illegal votes counted, and that is what's happening in the state of Nevada. We've asked Clark County for answers. They have no answers. They continue to count illegal votes. That is unacceptable, and it's giving legal people a sense that the system is corrupt. We have to have a system where legal votes are cast. What the Harry Reid machine has done is throw out recklessly ballots, and now they don't want us to check those ballots, and we are seeing discrepancies all over. We are asking Clark County to give us answers. All of your questions about the details are legitimate questions, and they should be asked of Clark County, because the Clark County officials are silent. They are not giving us any answers, and they continue to count these illegal votes. Ballots versus legal votes. That's what we're talking about. It is unacceptable in this country.
The presidency is literally in the breach.
Listen, you're here to take in information, okay? We'll do your job. It's pretty easy. Do
The president. Thank you all for turning out. Thank you all for turning out. The presidency literally hangs in the balance, and what the fundamental principle is here is that we want to be able to make sure that the counting that occurs and that the results that happen can be respected by every American voter across this land and truly across the world. If you're not allowed in to see the process, both sides and all of you in the media, so that there is transparency, so that there's meaningful observing of these ballots, that calls into question what those results will be. The idea in this country, the idea in America, that we would somehow reduce or limit the ability to have basic insurance that a ballot is a legal ballot, that a ballot is an acceptable ballot, that the person who voted, that we took minimal steps to make sure that there was a signature match, for instance. Those types of guarantees need to be in the process. And so we have to understand that what's going on in Nevada impacts what's going on all across this country, which is the American people want to have confidence in the results that are coming out of Nevada. That will occur when we can make a case why every ballot is an acceptable, compliant ballot.
Let me do you want to introduce these two, or we can have them introduce themselves? These are individuals who have stories of discrepancy. If you want to state your name and briefly what happened.
Okay.
And we won't take any questions, but you can step up and go right here.
Okay, thank you. Hi, my name is Jill Stokey. I went to vote. As was told, I already voted. I pursued the matter, and in years past, I always voted in person. This time, they mailed out the ballot, and somebody took my ballot. They also took the ballot of my roommate. I was told by the interviewer from Channel 8, when I said, did other people do this? He said, yes. He said, you're the first double. Thank you.
Ms. Stokey, will you spell your name for us, please?
S is in Sam, T is in Tom, O-K-K-E.
Good morning. I'm Chris Padome. I'm going to give my account what happened. I was here, actually been here for quite a bit, and was here with members of the Trump campaign and came in a media capacity to obtain content information on election night, and unfortunately was stereotyped in that regard, and you can take for that what you may, and was not able to obtain any type of access by any means, and got a little bit, I guess you can say assertive or aggressive is the word, so to speak, and the question was asked at 1:30 in the morning, why are you here? And our response was, well, it's election night. That's why we're here, and you guys are obviously counting ballots. And it was unique because they said they had an hour and a half left of counting to do, and an official came out who was kind and asked us to sign documents, and a few moments later we were asked to leave. Well, I find it ironic we were asked to leave within 10 to 12 minutes when they said they had an hour and a half of counting left to do, and clearly that was an attack I think on any type of conservative media or any individual or entity that wanted to have access and cover. And we find it very unique that other outlets are able to have full access, but we were not given any type of access whatsoever. And they question the validity of my background, or any type of media, any type of experience whatsoever. So that was my personal account, and that's it.
So what media were you representing, Chris?
Let me just say this. All of your questions are very good, and they should be asked of Clark County. We don't have access to the information. They are not giving us access to the ballots. The publicly available information raises a lot of questions, and yet we are not getting answers just like you. We're not going to take any more questions today, and I will say that we will have more to say at the end of the day after we file.
Any evidence, sir?
So all you have to do is ask your questions of Clark County,
But they're not filing
and we will
suit.
make sure that we continue the pressure on them too. Thank you very much.
Sacks of votes. Starting about the president. There are sacks of votes.
We want Trump. We want